All right, what is going on? How y'all doing out there in Atlanta Bird Gang Land and also on Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube? Don't forget to, if you get a chance, to go over there to Uncle Steve's Lounge. We are this close to 700 subscribers, and I appreciate everyone helping me out on the channel over there so we can get some more content and more talk going on YouTube as well. I am here to talk about yesterday's release of the Falcons schedule. And the one thing that just jumps out at me, obviously, the very first thing is starting the season against New Orleans Saints. It's kind of a good thing if you ask me, because it's been a while since we've had New Orleans at home to start the season. The last time, if memory serves me correctly, was the 2014 season. And that was, other than the Super Bowl year, I think that was the only year we swept the Saints. That was the last year of Mike Smith and the fellas when we were 6-9 going into the last game, had a chance to win the division against a 6-9 Carolina team. And we got crushed at the Dome. But that was the year we started the season with the Saints. That was the overtime game where Marquise Colson let I forgot who stripped it from him. Was that Witherspoon? I forgot who it was. But got the ball stripped. Falcons just one more play, and that was it. Then we were ready. We were ready to roll after that. So hopefully we can get some of that kind of karma going on and get this thing rolling. But yeah, that's week one, Falcons Saints. So that's cool. That's how you start the season. So let's talk about it. I see a couple of y'all coming in. What's up, Gerard? Said we should start off on the right foot by beating the Aints, that is. And I definitely apologize for getting the S on that. The Aints, absolutely. When you think about that, brother Cam said, "What's going on, Unc? Peace and blessings to you and your family." I appreciate that. Speaking of family, please help me wish a very happy birthday to a fellow Atlanta Bird Gang member and mother of this guy, Laureen Johnson. It is her 75th birthday, and what a blessing it is to be able to, and I don't take that for granted, to have my mom still around at a beautiful silver 75 years old. Happy birthday, Mom. Mwah. Love you. And just want to wish her a happy birthday as well. And I always remember this, and I know she gets over you for this too. My favorite artist of all time happens to share the same birthday as my mom. Stevie Wonder today is 72 years old. So very happy birthday to Stevie. So two of my favorite people, one here and one I'm a big fan guy, not a fan guy of a lot of people, love a lot of people and what they bring. But yeah, that Stevie thing is real. So it is. Who is that right there? That's Artavius. What's going on? Says, what's happening, Steve? Nothing much, brother. Just sitting here trying to talk about this Saints Falcons game to start off the year real quick. Uh, the one good thing I do like about starting the year off with the Saints, because as much as people are trying to maybe downplay it and want to act like the Saints are still the Saints and they're still this big time team, let me tell you something. Sean Payton left that team. And I'm going to give Sean Payton credit for a lot of things. Sean Payton came in and changed the culture of New Orleans, which was a perennial losing franchise. Jim Morris Sr. Did a decent job of trying to take them to the next level. But when Sean Payton came to the New Orleans Saints, he instilled a different type of attitude into that team. And I say they won, 2 out of 3 from us over the time that he was there. So you got to give him his props. I know the Drew Brees era was the same time as well, so give him credit. But Sean Payton is a heck of a coach, man. So you got to give him credit on getting the job done in New Orleans. That's why I kind of like this game to start the year. Dennis Allen. Now, does Dennis Allen strike fear into you as a coach? Is there anything about Dennis Allen that makes you kind of, think, oh, man, Saints are going to come with all that? Now, I know he's the defensive guy, and there's no doubt that the defense has carried the Saints for the last, I don't know, probably the last 4 or 5 years, even the last couple of years of Drew Brees when he was clearly declining in play. So the defense, there are still a lot of pieces there. There's still the annoying Cameron Jordan still out there on the edge talking smack on a team he's been on that's never been to the Super Bowl. So I like the fact that you get an opportunity at the very beginning, a game with meaning, and a game at home against your most fierce rival. And this is an opportunity for you, a second opportunity, because you had an opportunity against the Eagles last year. But this is your second opportunity to prove to the fan base that you can, get this fan base fired up about what you have going on with this team. I don't think there are any misconceptions or delusional fans out there thinking that we're going to go 12-5. We would love it. But this team is clearly in a transitional phase at the moment. And while we're in this transitional phase, we're going to have to get a couple of fan-friendly wins along the schedule. What a better way to start the 2022 campaign and really kind of a take 2 on the introduction of Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot. You were never going to get that true, it's our team until Matt Ryan moved on. And I'm not trying to be the hating Matt Ryan, appreciate what he did, all of this and all that. I'm not going there. But what I'm saying is you can't truly put your fingerprint, if you're Arthur Smith, you truly can't put your fingerprint on this franchise until number 2 moved on. Well, guess what? He's moved on. So now you're going to have to find a way to get this fan base to embrace what you're bringing in. We saw a draft class that I must admit I was very pleased with how they did the draft. They scared me on that first day with wide receiver. But again, even as much as I didn't probably say wide receiver should have been the absolute number 1, it's kind of hard to argue because we don't have any wide receivers. So I don't mind them making that move, but they made up for it very well by getting some intriguing defensive players the next day. Got a running back from BYU. Definitely got some more potential edge rushers, linebackers. I just like what they did, and then kind of rounded it off with the hometown guys from UGA. So I don't know. I think I like what we ended up doing. There's nothing about that I didn't like. Octavius says beat the Saints, beat the Aints. Mike Bailey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Good to see y'all. Just talking a little bit about the schedule and specifically that first game against the New Orleans Saints. Now, all of you know, being a longtime Falcon fan, and I'm sure that most of you are Falcon fans, there's no other team that you would enjoy destroying on the first game of the year than the New Orleans Saints. Now, last year, again, we started with the Philadelphia Eagles, and while there was a lot of excitement about the new season, new coach, and Kyle Pitts, and to see what he was going to do, that it ended up being a very big letdown, not only because of the final score, but, you know, I went to that game. The stadium was about 70% full. And I'm probably, if anybody else went to the game, you let me know, that first game was not full. And there were a great deal of Eagles fans there. So I don't know whether Falcon fans were really fired up about that first game or not. But guess what? 2022 automatically threw some lighter fluid on the charcoal. You got the New Orleans Saints, no Drew Brees, no Sean Payton. You have a brand new signal caller at quarterback, and no matter whether it's Mariota, Ritter, or whoever that's going to start the game, it's going to be different. This is going to be a different field than we've seen in 14 years. That we're going to have a new quarterback calling the signals, a new feel, a new vibe, a new type of athleticism at the quarterback position. It's going to be different. And New Orleans, look, I know everybody's right now preseason second place to the Tampa Bay and all of this and all of that. Yeah, I don't see New Orleans too much different than us in Carolina when you think about it. I'm not. So I look at this game as a precursor to what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot really want for this future of the franchise. Last year, again, yeah, in name and in actual job description, they were. This year, without the shadow of Matt, the shadow of Julio, because remember this time of year, we still had Julio this time last year. He didn't leave until later in the summer. So aside of Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones and Jake Matthews, you basically have an entirely different roster, an entirely different coaching staff, and a GM that getting his first time up the bat. This will really feel like the kickoff of the Terry and Arthur show this year. I'm going to go through this, and I apologize, y'all, if I don't have it on the. I'm on my laptop today, so I can see a couple of the names, but some of them aren't coming through, so I apologize. So what's up, bro, Steve? Man, I'm so hyped about starting the season playing New Orleans. That first win could be big. It could be huge. Think about what this fan base. We haven't had an opening season win since Chicago, when we went out to Chicago and beat them. And we haven't had a home opening win since the game I was talking about, the game against New Orleans, the overtime game. We beat New Orleans back in 2014. So what a great way, what a great opportunity to kick it off, because we got that West Coast strip coming right after that. I'm going to scan through the schedule in a couple of seconds. But I'm focused on that game because that game will set it off. Set it off. Facebook, you said 70%. No, fam, it was a good 60%. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, X is up 67, heck, 50. I don't know. You're probably right. I know it wasn't 90. So to your point, I agree with you. Yeah, it was definitely not standing room only. And was part of that the Eagles? Was part of that because it was the Eagles, or was it part of we just didn't know what was going on? Will the excitement of having somebody else calling the signals, um, being the signal caller, I should say, for the Falcons, drum up enough interest? Don't underestimate this. This is a huge deal that Matt Ryan is not going to be under center come September. And whoever it is, whether it's Ritter, whether it's Mariota, it's going to be different and it's going to feel different. See, we can say, remember the last time that we played the Saints the first game of the season? Remember what happened? Better not happen again. Last time we played on the first game of the season was. Are you talking about the home first game? Because the last time we had a season opening at the Dome, that was the game that Drew Brees was running all over the place and whatever. But the last time we had a home opener for the first game of the season, we won that game. Go back and check. 2014, we won that game. So when you say better not happen again, I'm trying to see. That was the last time we had that. I'm trying to go back over here and see who that was. Yeah, that's John. Yeah, JR, look, that's the wrong. You might be looking at the wrong game. You're talking about. I think you're talking about 2000. It might have been 11 or something like that. But the 2014 game, that was the one we played at home, and like I said, Marquise Colston got the ball stripped, or he fumbled the ball, whatever it was. Anthony, what's going on? Anthony says, yes, it was about 70% full for the Philly Open last year. I was tailgating with Philly and Falcons fans, and it was pretty hyped. And even Anthony, if you can respond to this, the tailgate was cool, but it wasn't that raw tailgate that we were normally having. Like anywhere, even when the Dome was there, and I know a lot of people attribute stuff to the Dome still being there. When you start talking about that, it just wasn't a strong vibe. Now I know you get a little liquor in you and you go outside and barbecue at 11 o'clock and got a couple of people. Obviously, it's going to be a good time to you. But as I'm driving down Northside Drive, and I'm looking forward to stopping right by Pascal's and passing by tailgate after tailgate after tailgate, and I got a little bit of the vibe, but I didn't get the vibe that we had a few years ago. And shame on me for trying to live in the past with it, but that's part of what makes it exciting to me. Driving in, seeing the fans on every. I mean, that to me, that's exciting. So yeah, with having New Orleans, I want that tailgate to be lit. And yeah, even if the Saints fans, because listen, as much as we, have the good natured hate for the team and the franchise and stuff, it's a different vibe with them Saints fans. They talk junk all day. We want to shut them up and stuff. They might be the only fans I'd invite in to get shut up. Out of anybody, any other franchise, I'm sorry. Let me come back up here. And I'm trying to see who this is, and I'm sorry. Mo, that's Mo. Big Mo, how you doing, brother? Said my whole section had more Eagles fans, Falcon fans around me. Was literally sleep. It was a huge disappointment from our fan base. But here's the problem, though, Mo. You got to give the fans something to cheer about. If you remember, I think we went down on the first drive, and memory serves me correct, we scored a field goal, I believe. I think that was the first drive of the year. I think we marched down and got a field goal. And after that, it was pretty much the Philly show for the rest of the day. As fans, you've got to get our attention from the start, man. You've got to. So yeah, it's something that you gotta give us something to be happy for. I'll put it that way. Let's see. John said, "Yeah, 2013. Yeah, I thought you were talking about that. Yeah, 2014 was the year we did that. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Bring this down. Mo says the Gulch was a huge part of tailgating Falcon games. I was there DJing every Sunday for a decade before I went inside. Shame they took the Gulch away from us. I hear a lot of people talk about the Gulch being a good start off place for the Falcons. So yeah, I hear you. Just that whole, I think they were too busy trying to build they you've got to. So hopefully they'll do that. Let's see who we have here. We have Twan. What's going on? Twan says, "Hey, what's going on, Uncle Steve? This year I'm excited when football is back. I'm just waiting to see how this training camp goes, but I really hope we send the stinky team back to Louisiana. I hope we do too. Yeah, training camp is going to be interesting. A lot of battles. If you heard a little bit of the 92.9 The Game interview they had with Arthur Smith, he talked a lot about competition, and really that's where we are now. Look, if you start looking at last year and what we brought people in last year to fill holes. That's all we were doing in 2021. We were bringing people in to literally fill holes on the team. There wasn't a lot of, hey, this guy right here could actually improve this guy who could do that. I look at Casey Hayward. That's somebody who might actually improve the secondary. I look at Rashad Evans. That's somebody that might actually improve the linebacker core. So Damian Williams, that's somebody who might give a little more versatility to the running back position. I'm not trying to sell you that they're all stars, but I'm trying to sell you that they were actually people that we went out to get that may help. You know, Devontae, what's going on, man? Looking on YouTube, Uncle Steve's. A winning season. Yeah, brother. Thank you for joining us on Uncle Steve's Lounge always. Brother Tidy, what's going on? Say the Gulch was epic. Yeah, listen, I never made it down there to the Gulch, so I'm not going to try to pretend I knew what happened was going on down there, but I heard a lot of good stuff as far as fans were concerned. So that doesn't shock me. When you take away kind of that type of energy from places like the Gulch, or you kind of move the stadium into a place where there was significant tailgating. A lot of the people were complaining that they messed up the tailgate area down there by the railroad tracks and stuff like that. So it was kind of a give and take. Yes, you got this brand new shiny stadium that we can show off and say, look at our stadium. But and again, not mean to harp on it, but it's real. Along with those different type of what's the vibe I'm trying to say? Different type of season that we had. It's just kind of you need a grassroots. That's what I'm looking for. You need a grassroots type of thing from the fans. You really do. You have to have that. You have to have that. Trying to see who this is right here. Anthony says, I was down in the Gulch with family and friends. I do agree. Nothing compares to the Georgia Dome hype. Yeah, Georgia Dome. It was a different thing, and look, we can wax poetic about it all we want to, but at the end of the day, you know, it, the Georgia Dome had the hype, man. It had the hype. It was a different that's why it was so interesting to end the season like we did in that Georgia Dome. We talk about it all the time. That was like the perfect send off. We haven't had that feeling once. We haven't had that feeling one time in Mercedes-Benz. The closest time came was the New Orleans game on Thursday night. All the other games, the Sunday games, I mean, it's just a different vibe. It's not the same. It's not the same. Antonio, what's going on? Thank you for joining us again on Uncle Steve's Lounge. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all good. Yeah, but so look, Saints starting the year, I think it's excellent. I think it's good for the fans. I think it's as far as just bringing a different type of hype. I like it. I like it more than any other team, more than any other situation. I think that's really a pretty cool way to start the year. I did want to look briefly at the schedule here. Let me see. I had it here. Pulled up. Let me pull it up right quick. Y'all can start playing the Jeopardy theme if you want to while I was bringing it up. Anthony Booker says, man, that Green Bay, that championship Green Bay game was epic and unforgettable. It's my most watched. When I start thinking about things I go back and watch all the time, that's one of those games that I go back and watch all the time. All the time. I mean, it's easy to watch. Very easy. Man, I can't find it. Okay, so all right, sorry about that. So I guess we'll just do this manually then. We'll. Oh man, say. Lisa says, "Lord, please let us win this opener. I don't feel like hearing the Aints mouth for 3 months until we play them again." Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna talk one way or the other. You know, you already know that. That's their nature to talk. Let me see. Damon, what's going on, man? Looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to it too. I think when you start talking about, the hype for the Atlanta Falcons, look, I know a lot of people saying wait till 2023. I want to see some competition in 2022. I want to see how they end up showing up. Okay, so let's go down here real quick, and I apologize. I thought I was able to pull this up, but I can't pull it up for some reason. But I'm going to read it off real quick. We already talking about the Saints playing here on September 11th. That's Sunday at 1:00 here in Atlanta. And then we take a very quick West Coast swing, which I'm kind of glad that we're taking the West Coast trip early. We start with the Rams and we end with Seattle, which I would rather do it like that anyway, because when you start thinking about get the good teams out the way early, the teams that are going to be good. So I would rather get the Rams out of the way very early. Lisa says, are you gonna are you going to that first look at the team event in June at the Benz? I saw that slip through. I'm not going to sit here and promise it at the moment. Obviously, work calls, but yeah, I did see that. I may get a chance to check that out. Game 4 will be Cleveland traveling here to the Falcons. Deshaun Watson, if things line up like they should, he may not be there during that game, as well as that first game. I failed to talk about Alvin Kamara, who could miss that first game. I can't see them not, if they're consistent with the way they've done things, I can't see them not suspending him that first game. Then, of course, we go to Tampa in second week of October, where we go down there and see what Tom Brady has for that last year. So, hey, he's going to be fired up to end that, to end his career. RJ, what's going on, man? Say the offensive linemen are going to get some work facing those rough pass rushers. And think about that. When you talk about the Rams, when you talk about the Browns, you talk about the Buccaneers, and then the next game I was going to bring up was the 49ers come to town on Sunday, October 16th. I mean, that's back to back to back to back teams with defensive rushers. But guess what? That's why we brought everybody in to compete. That's why you go out and draft the offensive tackle. That's why you bring guys in. If you think for 1 year that Arthur Smith is just going to sit there and say, let's go with those same 5 guys who killed Matt Ryan last year, he's not going to do that. And even though you have a different type quarterback behind you, your goal is still to protect him and improve the run game, obviously. The Bengals on Sunday, October 23rd. We go to Cincinnati. That's going to be a tough one. Come back home. The Panthers, probably the only team that I look at and say, yeah, if we don't sweep them, we have problems, barring any injuries for us. The Panthers are not a very good football team. Then we stay at home, but we bring in my dark horse pick for the AFC. And I know they missed the playoffs last year, but boy, if they got to the playoffs, I think people are going to feel them. And that's the Chargers. Chargers with Justin Herbert. And remember, Khalil Mack has joined the squad as well. So a defense with Joey Bosa gets that much better in LA. We then have a Thursday night game, our only Thursday night game, our only primetime game, I should say, this year. And that is the Carolina Panthers on a Thursday night in Carolina. The Bears come to town after a nice little 10-day layoff. Bears come to town that November the 20th. And then we travel to Washington to play the Commanders. The Commanders, their defense is still good. Their offense is still kind of shaky. Pittsburgh Steelers come to town December the 4th. And Pittsburgh, listen, defensively, we talk about TJ Watt all we want to, but yeah, that offense was kind of shaky, last year. So I'm not completely sold on Pittsburgh. We go to New Orleans. First, between the Steelers and New Orleans, we have a bye week. That's a late bye week, which is good. Hopefully we'll be competitive. If we're competitive, that'd be a great time for a bye. Coming off the bye, we have the Saints on December the 18th. They have not determined the time for that. I'm pretty sure around that time, that's when you'll be trying to see whether the teams are in it and things of that nature. So we'll check that out. Falcons against the Ravens. Lamar Jackson. We go to Baltimore on Christmas Eve at a 1:00 game. And then the next week on New Year's Day, we play the Arizona Cardinals. Don't know how the drama is going to end up with Kyler Murray. And I know D-Hop, he has to serve the suspension early in the year, so he'll be I'm sure ready by then. And then we end the year with Captain America coming to the Dome. Hopefully, we can send him out with a loss. So that's the schedule in a nutshell. Uh, you know, say what you want to say about that. RJ says, do you think Arthur Smith can compete with these coaches? I hope we can win 7 games. I don't know, man. I like Arthur Smith. I like both the coaches we had named Smith. I thought Mike Smith was the best coach we ever had in Atlanta. I think he got a slight raw deal the year he left because he took a really not super talented team and almost took them on the brink of making the playoffs, albeit with a losing record. But Mike Smith, the guys played strong under Mike Smith. We weren't in a, you know, we played tough under him. We really did. So I don't know. Say, hey, big brother Steven Johnson, long time, long here. I wish I could see who that is, but it is not showing. But whoever you are, how you doing? Good to hear from you, because I don't see it down here. But glad to have you join us. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Look, I just want to stop in for a few minutes just to discuss the schedule. This is not this wasn't meant to be very long, but just a little bit excited to get that New Orleans game on the schedule. I'm very glad to see that will be something that the fans can truly look forward to. We already look forward to starting the season, but to be able to start against New Orleans, especially when they are in transition as well, this could be an opportunity to kind of start a new era where we put our foot in their behind for the next 10 years, kind of like Sean Payton did with us for his whole tenure that he was here, he was in New Orleans. So again, thanks y'all for joining me. Y'all have a awesome Friday. I'll be on Sunday. Not sure what time. I'll double check with Tidy and see what time. I'm sure he'll be on Sunday as well. And in between the basketball games, just give a little entertainment and talk a little bit more about schedule and going forward, getting ready to go into rookie mini camps and going into training camp in July in about a month or two. Dude, it's almost June, 2 more weeks. So football season may not be that far away, y'all. I know we're going to have a little bit of dead period, but just trying to pop in every now and then and give you guys something to talk about. So from your Unc here in Atlanta Bird Gang, and more importantly in Uncle Steve's Lounge on YouTube, please go over and give me a subscribe, hit a like button, check us out, and we'll catch up with you all later on. Again, happy Friday. Take care.